Welcome to the EarthWorks podcast, where our team will share the jargon of carbon from many of our turf friends from the past 30 years.
Hi, everybody. I'm Joel Simmons, and we're live at the U.S. Women's Open at Lancaster Country Club with Jack Higgins and our friend George Manos, who used to be here for a long time, weren't you?
I was here.
You're back home now.
I was here quite a while. Back home, yeah.
Back home. How's it feel?
It feels nice. I
Yeah?
was here for from 2008 to 2020.
And you were here for the 15 Open.
I was here in
The
15.
Women's Open in 15,
and
yeah.
all the preparation for that, and it's nice to be back and experience it again.
And not really have to do the
It's
heavy
a lot.
lifting.
It's a
you
lot
get to
less
watch
stressful.
the other guys.
Yeah, I get to watch everybody else
Yeah.
stress out, and I can collect flags and.
Oh yeah, you two had a nice.
We had a
evening.
great evening taking flags down and and the tee markers. It was a blast. I enjoyed it. I hope we can do it again tonight.
I hope so. Yeah,
if you get that gig, let
we'll,
me know.
We'll probably be in bunkers tonight.
Oh,
actually.
that's too bad.
What did they have you doing in the morning?
In the morning, I'm mowing intermediates.
Okay,
So
perfect.
Josh is his favorite job. He says it's the most important job on the golf course. But I think he tells everybody that.
And he
Well-
knows you. He knows
well-
you well enough, so he
Yeah.
trusts you. So
I guess,
it's
yeah.
all good.
He knows I won't mess it up.
Let's get into the weeds on this because I'm kind of blown away by the intermediates as well, and what
Yeah.
it's really about is the definition that
Mhm.
you pick up of the fairway contour from that cut. Can you tell us a little bit about what they're doing, how they're gaining that definition?
I think the big thing they're doing is obviously they're mowing all one direction right now with the fairway mowers. They're mowing tee to green. So myself and the other intermediate mower, Jennifer Torres, we're mowing opposite that. So we're mowing green to tee, splitting the fairway down the sides, and it really makes everything pop. We've got the dark color against the light grain of the bent grass.
It's remarkable.
Yeah.
And you can see it from a mile. I
Yeah.
mean, it's spectacular. And I watched some of this on TV this morning, and to see the place on TV is, I mean, it's hard. Sometimes you're on a golf course and then you see it on TV, and it just gets distorted, but not here. This place looks fantastic. I mean, the weather's been perfect, the sky's perfect, but to see it on TV is really very cool.
Yeah, I mean, everything's kind of coalescing together at the right time, and to get the weather they're getting right now, it
Yeah.
really makes everything even better.
Tell us also about the walking path too, because so it seems as though you and Jen are starting up at the green and going down either side of the fairway and meeting at the walking path.
Correct, and then we both go up the walk paths all the way through the tees. They recently widened those, so now they're double.
For the Open?
Well, it's always for the membership.
Okay.
But
Good
yeah.
answer.
Yeah,
Mr. Politician.
I was trained here for quite some time. But I think the idea was, Josh wanted to widen the walk paths so that for the Women's Open specifically,
Yeah, makes sense.
both players can walk side by side with their caddies
Oh,
and both be on the
wow.
cart path.
I
or the
didn't
walk
realize there was a function to it as
path.
well.
Yeah, Josh has a rhyme and reason for everything.
Do you think that'll stay? The width?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
It looks great.
They sodded those during some renovation period, and I think they look great.
Yeah.
And what's your overlap? I mean, you're both mowing with sidewinders, right?
Yeah,
So,
I think we overlap maybe a foot and a half in the center.
Yeah, not much.
Not much. So there's not much room for error, but
Okay.
it was intelligent.
And then just keep that line going right through the tee complex.
Yep, all the way through.
Okay.
Through all the tees.
That's good.
What's the weather been like this spring here in Lancaster?
Wet.
Yeah.
I think Josh can certainly
Yeah, so can
back
you.
that up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well-
His property drains a little better than mine.
Well, yeah, I want to mention, just for the listener that doesn't know, you're familiar not because you were only here for 12 years, but you're a superintendent right down the road.
Correct. I think if you go, as the crow flies, I'm the closest golf course to Lancaster Country
So
Club.
Overlook Golf Course, it is Manheim Township.
Manheim Township Municipal Golf Course. They purchased it in 1988.
How many rounds?
Last year we did 46,000.
46.
That's right.
And we're
And how
on
many
pace.
rounds did you do here when you were working here?
I
Three,
want
six?
to say it was
15?
it was in the 20s. So
Oh, was it? Okay, good.
but that's 27 holes.
Yeah,
you know.
exactly.
But yeah, it's a great place to be. Manheim Township really supports things we're doing there, and really investing
Yeah.
in the golf course.
not to jump back to here, but
Yep.
one of the striking things that I love about Lancaster Country Club is the trees that have come down.
Oh boy,
I mean,
a touchy subject.
Yeah, I know that, but for anybody, especially our audiences tends to be a lot of superintendents, but man, the difference that it made, and you and I noticed that when we were riding around last night, just the vistas and the views and the difference, and I know it had to be hell because you were in the middle of it all, but to take them down and people give you crap, but once they stand and look at those views that you can see this beautiful golf course from 8 holes away, it's stunning.
Yeah, it's
difference.
hard to ignore how good it looks now with
Yeah.
the right trees down and the right trees left. Todd Beitelspacher, when he took over,
Yeah,
I believe it was
started it.
2005, really got aggressive
Yeah.
with things and opening this place back up, and Josh has continued that with Matt
Yeah.
Wolf, and it's amazing.
I mean, obviously the aesthetics are great. I mean, the fact you can see the course, but the airflow, for you guys from an agronomic standpoint, I mean, I can't imagine what this was like when it was a forest.
Yeah, when
And you were here when it was before they started cutting trees.
I started in 08, and they had really gotten aggressive a couple years prior to that, but they were still, there were 9, 10, 11 separate greens that were completely surrounded by
Yeah.
trees, no sunlight, no air movement, and it was a struggle. So I don't think they have many of that
Now I
left.
bet. So, advice for anybody that's got a forest of a golf course: how do you start a process like that? I mean, how do you get it through the membership? There must have been a lot of politics.
It's politics.
Yeah.
It's communicating. You don't want to lead with "we want to cut trees down."
Right. I
You want to
mean,
lead
that
with
would be bad.
the science behind it.
I could.
Here's what it could be. Here's how much better it could be.
Yeah.
Here's what we need to do.
I've been on many golf courses in my career, and I've never seen a situation where after they cut all the trees down, you didn't have more than half, almost all the members come back and say, "Oh, I never knew that was there. Oh my God, look at those views. Why didn't we do this 20 years ago?"
Yeah, things are never worse after the trees come down. They're always better.
And obviously the agronomics have to be
Correct.
better. I mean,
Yeah.
so you were here doing a lot of the major tree removal.
Correct. Yeah, we
Yeah.
did a lot of the green surrounds and up and down fairways, and Josh has continued that and really gotten deeper into opening up the vistas for championship play, and in between 2 and 7 on Meadow Creek, being able to see across
Yeah.
the property now.
Oh yeah.
So is the politic
yeah.
the vista, or is and when I say politics, is it the conversation with the membership? Is it about the vistas, or is it really about can the conversation be about agronomy and improving their golf course?
I think at a member-owned club, it's always got to be what's best for the membership first, and then
Right, of
championship
course.
and tournaments second.
Yeah.
But
what do you
they
pitch?
do
What
go hand in hand.
What do you pitch the members? I mean, are you pitching them about, hey, we're going to have less I mean, our greens are surrounded. There's no air movement. It's agronomy. The grass is going to not be as strong, or is it you're going to see this incredible view of this property, or is
Yeah,
it both?
I think the vistas is what really drives it home.
That's the biggest thing. It's the
especially if you can get
splash.
some CGI or some animation behind it. So show them some pictures what it could look like.
Yeah. Did you
think
guys
that
do
goes
that
well.
when you started? Get the animation?
I think there
Or was
was
that
some
technology not there?
It was kind of there, but I think it was more architectural renderings.
Yeah.
Now it's a lot more. I don't want to say Photoshop, but a little more educated.
Well, they just do the light movement, the way they can show where the light movement is going to go if this tree wasn't
Yep.
here. I mean, that's just that. I would think that would be a huge conversation for anybody listening that might be in the situation you guys were, 15 years ago.
Yeah,
And then you know what else the members like to hear? Playability.
playability.
They're like,
yeah.
you're like, hey, let's make these greens nicer.
Yeah, you
And
want to. Everybody wants to play a course with firm and fast greens, right? So
you can't do that with trees all around.
It's not easy.
Yeah.
and it's a losing battle a lot of times.
Well, that's true. That's true. So, what's the schedule like for you? How are you balancing this volunteer? Because I kind of also want to just highlight and commend you for volunteering, dude. This is really cool. It's really supportive to the greater community, and you've got a full-time job. Like.
And you probably have a lot of golfers out there this
We
week.
do,
They're all
yeah.
coming into town to play
That's
or to
right.
watch this, and then they got to be.
Well, and
you got to be
also,
packed.
Lancaster's been closed for 2 weeks.
Correct. So we do often get a lot of Lancaster members over there normally,
Yeah.
but I have noticed an influx in
Yeah, I would think.
Lancaster Country Club tees on my tee boxes.
Mm.
There's a lot of spillover over there this week specifically
Yeah.
and last. But no, it's great. I've since leaving here in 2020, I've kept a really good relationship with everybody. My dad continued to work here for 2 years after I left. My brother-in-law works here. really close friends with Matt Wolf and Josh Saunders. And
Matt gave you a couple shouts out.
Oh,
We
boy.
talked to him. We
Yeah.
talked to him earlier, and your name popped up a couple of times.
Certainly did.
He
So
likes
you
to
owe him a
pluck my
couple
foot.
bucks.
I guess I do, yeah. Him and when he came here in
That's
2019,
great.
him and I clicked really
Yeah,
quick.
yeah, I can see that.
It helps that we're really close in age and both, having to mitigate Josh and really help rein him in.
That's the truth. It's the truth. You got to
but-
come up with those strategies.
Yeah, exactly. But no, it's been great. It was nice to come back. Like we said earlier, it's a lot less stressful in this position this time. But, I'll come here in the mornings, the 4 to 8 shift and, shoot back over to the Overlook and, see how things are going. I have a really, really great tenured crew there.
Mhm.
So I can
helps.
leave and they don't need me there.
Yeah. No, they need you. They just can get by without you.
Exactly.
Or prefer to get by without you,
Exactly.
perhaps. I
yeah.
don't know.
A couple days they can certainly handle things,
Yeah.
and I'll come back here for the evening shift.
Have
and-
you been able to come back here during all the transitions since you left? I mean, do you come by often enough
Yeah,
to see friends and guys?
Yep, I took a couple ride arounds with Matt Wolf.
Good.
Met up with Josh a couple times, and certainly during their bunker renovation when they went through that, I was out here kind of checking things
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
And
So, what in your eyes, what's the biggest change that you've seen since you left?
going back to the vistas,
Yeah.
the trees that they focused on the last 2 years specifically have been just, I don't want to say it's finishing a vision that was started so long ago
Yeah.
because Josh expanded on that vision, but it's unreal. You and I were up on 10 green,
Yeah,
17 green.
You can see everything.
You can see everything. You can see 9 holes from up in that
Yeah.
corner of the property, which was never there before.
And the rock outcroppings along the river there. I mean, that's spectacular. And that was all trees before.
Yeah, it was all trees.
Yeah.
It was, we went through and really thinned out underbrush.
Yeah.
8, 9, 10 years ago, but removing the rest of the trees and really getting some tall
Yeah.
grass in there that adds an element to that
Yeah.
hole that it needed.
No, it
And
looks fantastic.
It keeps it cleaner ultimately too. Then it's less brush hogging.
Less upkeep for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. Oh, that's good.
And that area is just basically now wild and native, and it looks fantastic. And then you can see all the rock. You couldn't see that,
Yep.
10, 15 years ago.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Which is really, I mean, it's such a great transition. I mean, having worked with Josh as closely as we do for most of his career, to be honest with you, but certainly since he got here, it's been neat to see, how it's all come together for this event, which is kind of cool.
I just want to just highlight one quick bit about what I'm seeing out there is just density. I mean, it's like a billiard table out there,
Yeah.
dude, across the whole golf course. Stand
every
density's insane.
every playing surface out there, from the bent grass greens cut at I won't say height
Yeah,
to
no, please don't.
to the tall surrounds and rough. Everything is thick and it's just perfect.
Yeah, it's cool.
We watched him. I don't know who it was, but Jack and I stood there and watched Josh training one of the guys just how to do the second cut on the green.
The bevel cut.
The bevel
yeah.
cut, and it was really kind of cool watching him train some. I assume it was a volunteer. I'm not even sure, but it was just a very cool scene. I wish we had a nice video of that. We probably don't.
No,
But-
we do.
we do. Okay. Well, maybe we'll show that. But it was really. I mean, the attention to detail is the point.
Yeah, it's-
And that bevel cut is. I mean, when you see it up close, it's like, wow, that's.
Is that a new thing? I've never seen that before.
I think there are some places that do it specifically for tournaments. when
where you're lowering one
side
side
of the mower.
of the rotary mower, and keeping the other side up, so like you're getting an angled.
Yeah, you
I
got a
think-
40-degree angle really on that
I think
cut.
when you have intermediates around greens that are cut as tight as they are here, right into really thick, 3, 4, 5 plus inch surrounds, you
Yeah.
need
It
some
kinda-
sort of step. You don't want to get the ball trapped in that area right there.
There was a special step cut coined at Wingfoot, I remember, for an open that was probably something similar.
I would imagine it's
Yeah.
probably the same thing.
Yeah.
But it's a neat little thing, which is kind of cool. So you're here all weekend,
I'll be here all week.
every day. So
I'm
you're
here
coming in morning, afternoon,
morning
and
and
then
afternoon.
you're going back to work,
back to work,
making sure everything's going on over at work, and then you're
trying
just driving
Are you
back.
bringing the family over?
They'll be here Friday and Saturday.
Wonderful.
So in between my shifts here and at Overlook, I try and sneak home and spend some time with the wife and 2 kids. And,
That's right.
So the
save
kids will
face.
be here. That'll
The
be
kids
cool.
will be here. Yeah.
Do
So
they like this kind of a scene?
my daughter? She'll be 4 in July.
she's a
so
baby
she
still.
comes with me to work quite often.
Oh,
and,
good.
and loves it. Yeah, she's hooked.
Future superintendent?
I hope. She
That'd
can
be
be
nice.
she can be my replacement someday.
Yeah,
There you go.
And then the younger, he just turned 1, so he just started to like being set down in the grass.
There you go.
Ah, perfect.
He did.
Just leave him there.
Yeah. So he'll learn.
He'll learn.
He'll learn.
He'll just stay. You brought up your daughter. I mean, and the U.S. Women's Open, of course, they bring in a lot of women on the crew, and it's wonderful, and they're phenomenal. You and I drove around last night, seeing they were working their tails off. I mean, it's really cool to an event like this to see that many women that are participating with that much enthusiasm.
Correct.
And we certainly could use everybody in this industry that we can get. And as we move on in the next 10, 20 years, all the power to everybody to get into this industry and bring whoever you can bring.
Yeah.
Bring your son, bring your daughter. Bring your kids to work, for God's sake, and it's going to teach them.
Get them involved.
Get them involved.
My wife is a Penn State turf grad. She has a degree in turf, and the more the merrier.
Yeah.
Get them involved. And
I mean, I saw Josh's mom here serving breakfast,
Yep.
for God's sake. I mean, it was, of course, he's got her as slave labor, but
I can say that the vibe here has been very cool.
Yeah,
and I
it is
do
very cool.
think that like the family aspect of it, and like there are a number of wives and girlfriends and stuff here too, and I think it's really setting a nice vibe in that golf maintenance tent.
Josh and Matt did a really good job being inclusive and making sure that everybody's represented, and they keep a very good jovial vibe when it comes to the morning delegation and
They do.
the meetings, whether that's a front for the stress that they're trying to manage. They do a really good job
Keeping it fun.
keeping it fun.
So you were basically first assistant, or were you? What was your role in 15? When
In
you were
15, I was assistant to Mike Galinoski, who was the
Okay, Mike was ahead.
superintendent.
Okay, gotcha.
There's Mike over there.
Mike's walking through
Mike's
the camera
walking-
right now. He's-
He happens to be in the
He hasn't
foreground.
changed. He's just trugging along. Hi, Mike.
What's changed since the 15 to this? I mean, in terms of just the whole approach to how these events go on. Have you noticed a lot since the last one you
You mean
guys had here?
internally or with USGA?
Well, or both.
Yeah, or maybe equipment, maybe like
Equipment. I think technology with walk mowers have gotten a lot tighter.
Yeah, you got 10 years between us.
Correct.
Yeah.
I think things, being able to get that lower height of cuts become a lot easier and less detrimental. I think moving the tournament from the second week of July, which it was in 15.
Yeah, that's right.
now,
Yeah, that's right. You guys were in the middle of the summer.
We're not fighting humidity.
Oh, great point.
It was in the 90s the week of 15, and I think it's going to be 72 today, 73.
Yeah, and low humidity.
Well, think
and,
about it. I mean, all tournaments should be played right
Yeah,
now.
if
They
it's-
shouldn't be
if they
played in
can-
August in the
exactly.
Mid-Atlantic, for goodness sake. It just doesn't make sense.
So that was our biggest battle in 15 was just the weather. We got an inch of rain Wednesday, followed by intense humidity. So
Yeah.
it was tough.
Well, yeah, that's got to be a big difference. But it just seems like there's a lot of changes in those 10 years.
There
Even
has
in the last 4 or 5, I've been going to the Women's Open now for a number of years, and I remember Olympic Club when they really start bringing a lot of the women superintendents in, which was great. But it's just definitely a cultural change, and I think it's been great.
Women's golf has boomed.
It's boomed, and you and I were talking about it. Look at the prize money. It's tripled since you guys from 15, and it doubled in 1 year 2 or 3 years ago, and every year they're bringing another $1 million to the purse. So and people are watching, and it's good golf. I mean, it's really good golf.
It's really good, and the infrastructure that the USGA has put here. We were talking about this yesterday. There's more buildings. There's more venues for spectators. They've really expanded on the impact and footprint that they have.
And they're expecting quite a crowd for the weekend.
Yeah,
Which will be great.
they're saying it's going to match or beat the record that is still held from 15. So we'll see.
Oh, and this Lancaster holds the record
still
for
holds it 135,000.
Oh, really?
I
From
believe.
15?
Hey, All right.
Beat
so,
all the other big boys.
Yeah,
That's
so
impressive.
they're
I mean, you had
poised.
Olympic and Pinehurst in there and Pebble Beach.
It's such a good community here, and it's
Yeah.
so close to Baltimore and Philly and New York, and it's
and
it's got a
DC
really
and
good
Pittsburgh
Yeah.
and I mean it's really not far from anything.
You know, I have to tell the story, and I think Jack told me the story, but somebody was saying this. You know, there was a spectator watching one of the women, you know, playing golf, and he just thought she was a golfer, and he's giving her tips and all this stuff, and she's one of the professionals, and she stands up there and hits the ball 350. Oh, see what I told you is working.
I fixed it.
It's just,
You're good. I know.
it was so funny. Just
That
the,
was a viral
the arrogance of it
TikTok,
all.
like,
Yeah, just so funny that you know that's what's going on. But yeah, I mean it's embarrassing to watch them because I can barely hit off a tee, and then watching these folks. I mean they're killing it. I mean it's comparable to any other golf out there. It's really a lot of fun, and I hope people do come out here and really watch it all.
Yeah.
So what happens after this in a tournament like this? I mean, you went through it in 15, but he's going to have, and again, you're going to have a bigger crowd, so more trampling, a little more compaction in places. And, I know they're going to get out there at it next week, but what happens, what do you do when you're done with something like this?
So speaking from my experience in 15, the big thing was the USGA teardown. They do it quick.
Oh, so all the buildings are out of here?
All the buildings are out. I don't want to say within a week, but it felt like that.
Yeah, I bet.
Once they get off property, aside from just maintaining the golf course and trying to get it back for member play, now you're focused on stripping sod. Everywhere where there's a structure,
anything,
is dead. So you got to strip, resod, walk paths. Anywhere where there's traffic, you're aerifying, you're seeding, you're really trying to get it back alive.
Josh and I just drove over the laid out road that takes the cars out to the parking lot. I said, yeah, that's going to be a dead area. Thanks, pal.
Yeah.
So
every little silly thing like that that you don't even think about. But
it takes time. In 15, we started July 13th, day after.
Yeah.
And, it was probably September until we were, quote unquote, back to normal.
But you'll be back at your course, and you won't have to worry about that,
I
will
won't
you?
have to worry about it. I'm going to go back.
You'll wave to them from a distance.
I'll mow some greens, and if they want to grab a beer because they need to step away, I'll be happy to help there.
You need to comfort them a little bit.
There you go. You're like a grandparent as opposed to a parent. Like you.
You can leave when you want to.
You can leave when it.
Exactly. Yeah, I can leave and get out of here when things get tough.
Get the kids all sugared up and then blow out.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, dude, that's cool. So, well, I really appreciate you coming on,
thanks.
George.
I appreciate you guys and everything you do for not just Lancaster Country Club, but us at Overlook.
Well, we appreciate your support too.
And dude, I also want to point out to the listener, you did a really wonderful 2-minute turf talk with us about 2 years ago, and it's one of our most watched ones.
Oh, I'll take that.
Yeah,
it is actually.
So check that out. It was like recovering wheat greens, I think is what we labeled it.
Yep.
So yeah, check that out on the EarthWorks YouTube channel.
And I've been listening to more than just Matt, but a lot of people saying how great your place looks. And since you got there, and it's a muni with all that round. I mean, that's got to be intense work.
It's a lot.
But
the guys over there do a really good job.
Yeah.
My crew is dedicated, and that's what you need. You can have all the money in the world, and you can have all the resources in the world, but if your crew doesn't stand behind what you're trying to do.
And you made some agronomic changes, and you did some things a little bit differently, which every superintendent wants to do. Bring their knowledge base with them, and you did, and it's it's obviously paying off really well.
Proofs in the tee sheets, baby.
Yeah.
Full tee sheets.
Exactly. Full tee sheets.
Yeah, you doubled your revenue, or more than doubled your revenue. I mean, that's fantastic.
Yep.
What's the future of golf in Lancaster? Is it still growing? You guys are still growing.
I say this all the time. We're not alone at Overlook with the number of rounds we're doing. I think most public golf courses in this area do the same. So I think
it's a big golfing community.
It's a big golfing community, and I think if we could find another golf course or two to add to the mix.
So there you go.
Maybe build
maybe somebody's listening that's got a couple bucks in their pocket and wants to build a golf course.
LCC West or something like that.
Yes.
I love that idea.
Hey, we could be onto something.
Yeah. George, I can't thank you enough for all your support all the years.
Of
it's
course,
always been a
likewise.
pleasure.
I
Anything we
appreciate
can
it.
ever do for
Thank
you,
you, George.
know that.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hey, Joel, we got our big get.
This is it. We got the glue.
We've
She's been holding this whole thing together all by herself.
Ladies and gentlemen, Amanda Kambic. Amanda, thank you for sitting down with us.
Absolutely.
Yes. Amanda, tell us what your role is here.
I am the grounds office manager.
All right.
I kind of do all of the inside work, all the paperwork, the keeping everybody together, payroll, all that kind of stuff, so that guys can really focus on getting out on the course. And
That's your
focusing-
day-to-day. What's this week been like?
This week has been
Or actually, this 3-4 months has been like for you, because you've been
longer
pulling
than
all this.
that. Yeah.
Have you been pulling a lot of this, the open together? Has that been on your desk? A lot of the intricacies of
our-
details.
Our background, our maintenance teams, details, I
Yeah,
guess.
yeah.
The maintenance team details, not so much, the whole picture.
Right.
Definitely only
But
focused
maintenance
on
is
our.
huge.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
like this crew and all the volunteers coming in, and people like myself and Joel managing our credentials, making sure that that was all you.
Yeah.
You,
Yep.
you pulled all the credentials together for a team of what, 80 volunteers?
Total with vendors, staff, and volunteers, I think I had between 130 and 140.
Oh my gosh! You're dealing with 130 of us, all asking you for special treatment every day, and it's
I've got
all been
little
on your shoulders.
notes in my head,
Yeah.
on my phone.
You've
Keep
been-
it together.
You've been keeping a diary so you could sell it to the next tournament managers.
I should have thought of that way sooner.
Yeah, which is good.
Yeah, well, I have to thank you because you have been incredibly accommodating, especially to me. So I very much appreciate
Yeah,
that.
absolutely.
But beyond that, I'm telling everyone, the vibe here and the
wonderful.
creature comforts that you've provided, like these, really everything's just so nice. The food is remarkable.
Are you arranging the food? Is that kind of one of your?
Yeah, I've been kind of the main contact for
Yeah.
all the food trucks and the
So
catering
you've been bringing.
company.
So just so people understand it. So you've got how many people are in that tent at dinner time? 100.
120.
So you got 120 people, and they're fed by a food truck that comes
Mm-hmm.
out in front of the tent, and everybody gets. Last night you had a nice cheesesteak food truck, which was wonderful, and then every night it's been a truck and.
Yeah,
you've
that was our
coordinated all
goal. Josh and I kind of
Great
sat
idea.
down, and Josh really wanted to do something different other than just a sit-down catered meal every night.
Yeah.
So he kind of hedged the way for these food trucks, and I got to work kind of finding local ones. We wanted to make sure that they were Lancaster favorites, stuff like that, and
Oh, perfect.
I've been the
So
main
it's local.
contact. And
So you've been eating out of food trucks for the last 3 months.
well, you got to
Checking 'em
taste
out.
your
Of
product,
course
you know.
do. Of course you do.
But it's not just the dinner food trucks. I mean, it's breakfast, it's lunch, it's coffee, it's all the snacks
Yes.
throughout all the. Yeah, I mean,
You know, we have a ice cream freezer in there.
Oh, I missed the ice cream
Yeah,
freezer.
You'll have to
there
check that
is.
out.
All right.
Hey, I gotta go. I'll be right back.
But yes, I mean that it's really, really comfortable, really nice.
Good. I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah,
You know,
We've
being
been to a lot of these things, and sometimes, the catering can be a little shoddy, and, it can be a little unorganized or, slow, but this has really been smooth. And like Jack said, the vibe here is that, the community here has just been wonderful. All the volunteers have been great. Your team is just unbelievable, and I give you all the credit because I know Josh for so long. But so
No, that really excites me.
yeah,
Hearing somebody from the outside looking in,
and we've
and
seen it before. It's not
feeling
like,
the
oh, yeah,
comfort. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's really important.
And we're a little biased because obviously we love Lancaster Country Club. Like I said, I've known Josh for probably 25 years. I think he was 4 or 6 when I first met him. But he was a young
Yeah.
guy. But it's great to see what you guys have pulled together here.
I know. I wanna hear the story
Yes.
about how you got here, because I'm trying to think. The first time I met you, I'm not sure if you were working here or if you were just or you had just started working here. But tell us, how did you get here?
How
at
did you get this
Lancaster?
job, Amanda?
Josh was my next door neighbor,
Okay.
so I actually have a healthcare background.
Yeah.
And during the height of COVID, took a toll on a lot of us in
Oh,
healthcare,
I
and we
didn't
were
know
kind
that.
of looking
Yeah.
for a relief. I also have a management background. So, Josh and all the guys, we were kind of hanging out one night over drinks, and
Because
he had
Josh,
mentioned.
Josh sets a nice vibe at home too.
Oh,
and
I
he's,
yes.
I mean, he's just fun.
No,
Like,
yeah, we
and
have
I
a great
appreciate
time.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. He
He
Very
knows how to have fun,
inviting.
which is
so
good.
so
And he
I'm
works
sure.
hard.
Yeah, and he smokes meats and barbecues and stuff and invites
Oh
everyone
yeah,
over.
him and my husband,
Yeah.
they kind of rival the barbecue.
Yeah.
It's a fun time.
So that's how you met Josh.
Yes.
As neighbors and
So he got to
friends.
know what your background was and say, hey, I got an idea.
Well,
Is that how it
a
happened?
little bit. So, over drinks one night and probably barbecued meat, we were chatting and he kind of mentioned that he really wanted somebody to help him get through the open on, the administrative end so that he could really focus on getting out on the course and not juggling 1,200 things, which he probably does anyway.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And it was kind of the right time for me looking to make a little bit of a change out of the healthcare, and we got to talking and everything seemed right, the right
Perfect.
timing and everything, and I came on board probably a month later.
So you
Wow.
came on
Yeah.
board after they knew the open was scheduled.
Yes.
So you were already into that. You already
I
knew
was
what that
told
was
from
gonna
the
be.
beginning that my main focus would be helping with the open.
So how's it been? You got to be nuts.
Stressful
Yeah.
for one
I was gonna
word,
say.
but it's been
And
a
you've
lot
held
of
it all
fun.
together. Yeah.
It's been a lot of fun, honestly. Organizing everything,
Yeah.
making sure that everything is correct and in place for Josh.
Yeah.
Like, making sure that he doesn't have to worry about the things going on the inside
Right.
and more on the outside. That was huge for me. And I was just really excited that, we pulled off this, we're not done yet, but we pulled
Yeah.
off this really awesome
Oh, it's been
experience.
incredible. Yeah, exactly. And it seems like you have a great team working with you. I mean, I know you got a couple wives and girlfriends and
Oh,
Josh's mother who's working
the
with.
wives and the moms and the
And- yeah,
girlfriends.
everybody.
Yeah, they're amazing. I couldn't have asked for a better team. Amy
And they
and
seem
Kylie.
like they've been here
and-
forever. I mean, it just seems.
It
even
kinda
Josh's
feels
mom
like
came in
that.
yesterday. Like she just steps right in, and there
Yeah.
you go. Everybody's just pulling
Everyone
their own.
here is so helpful. Even the crew, if they're not out mowing greens or rolling something, they're, back at the shop helping me
Yeah.
carry groceries in and
Yeah.
stocking water coolers and stuff. It's
You had
just
no idea about what the operations of a country club was when you got here. though,
I didn't know what
Have
the
you ever been
difference
on a golf course?
I didn't know the difference between a green and an approach. So, my first week was really learning just,
What is this thing? Yeah.
what goes into a golf course,
Yeah.
maintaining a golf course, and
Was it overwhelming?
extremely,
Yeah, I-
especially,
yeah,
a
yeah.
championship golf course.
Yeah, oh yeah, pretty high end.
It-
Yeah, I mean, you didn't step into local Yoko. golf
No,
course.
yeah, of course.
You came into the top.
You shoot big, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So why not go big if not worth it? That's pretty funny.
Wow.
What's been the biggest challenge? What's been the biggest headache? Not that I want to be negative.
The
because,
the unknowns, honestly.
bet.
The food trucks canceling on me last minute.
Oh
no,
no.
really.
So I got an email yesterday that our Thursday food truck is inoperable.
Oh no, you're kidding me.
So that was,
So Josh is bringing over on a grill and he's going to throw burgers around. We don't know yet.
that would have been pretty cool. I think he's got a couple other things to do.
I heard
Um,
that. I heard that.
So the catering company that I've been working with for breakfast, she has been amazing.
good.
Jem's Catering out of Lancaster. I called her and I said, listen, this is what's going on.
When did you get this call?
I got the email Monday.
So Monday you're being told that Thursday you don't have a truck
I don't have a truck.
for
right.
120 people
Yes.
for dinner.
So
Oh my gosh, that's
We-
unbelievable.
I called Emily from Jem's Catering and told her what was going on, and she, say no more. I
Great.
got your back. Whatever you want. What do you want to serve? How many? What's your budget? Like, she has been incredible. I've
Yeah.
been able to text her every day after breakfast and say, hey, this one was good. This was not so good. We need more of this next time.
Perfect.
I need to cut down.
So they've been doing breakfast every day.
Oh, yeah.
And are they doing lunch too?
Yes.
So they bring both the early meals.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And then the trucks are here for. And like I said, the truck was just a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But not. Yeah. So how many? So you've had a truck every day, a different truck every day.
So Monday, Memorial Day, it was difficult for me to get a truck here.
I guess.
So Stubby's Bar and Grill, which is one of
our favorite.
Exactly,
Yeah, we
one of
love
the
Stubby's.
crew's favorite.
Yeah, be there Sunday.
Josh really kind of thought that it would be fun to introduce the volunteers to one of our local favorites.
Yes.
So we had them cater.
Oh, excellent. That's
Other
a
than
great
that,
idea.
The
And Josh has spent most of his salary over there, so I
You
would
know,
assume that
yeah,
he'd
why
probably be
not?
very helpful.
they're awesome over there.
Yeah, they are.
But other than that, we really strived to get different food trucks. So
So this has all been on your shoulders, pretty much.
a little bit, yeah.
A lot of it,
yeah.
it sounds like. Don't be humble.
Well-
Also managing sponsorships.
Yeah,
That
sponsorships.
was you.
Well, Josh did all of the marketing.
Okay.
I did all of the,
follow up.
organize, making sure that everything was in the right place at the right time.
Mhm.
Josh, I really have to give Josh credit for a lot of this. He kind of steered me in the right direction.
He had a good idea when he started this whole thing.
Oh,
who
yeah.
to talk to, yeah.
Right. So he did a huge amount of the, the vibing for the sponsorships and getting things to where we could get, the swag bags that we gave the volunteers,
Mhm.
like these really nice food trucks, stuff
yeah.
like that. This was all him. I just kind of organized what he was doing,
Right.
if that makes any sense.
Were you working off of a budget, or was that somebody else's responsibility?
So how we did it was, instead of asking the sponsors for specific things or for them to pay for specific meals, stuff like that, we kind of decided to do a package system.
Good.
So, XYZ gets XYZ, and we took checks, and then we kind of created our budget from there based on what we received, what kind of packages we got, and we kind of decided to budget that way
Right.
instead of, okay, EarthWorks pay for this lunch or this one pay for this dinner. So it really kind of helped because I could juggle swag and hotels and vans and not have to worry about, oh, am I going to have enough sponsorship
Right.
interest?
Yeah.
Because that was also a big thing. Were we going to get enough companies interested to do all the things that we kind of had in mind?
Had a long list on that.
Oh, yeah,
banner out there.
The sponsors made all of this happen.
Yeah.
And I really want to stress that.
That's it. Well, we're grateful to be able to be a
Yeah.
part of it. And our check cleared, I hope.
Yes,
It-
yeah,
okay,
no,
I just
yeah,
wanna-
thank
just
you.
want to make sure. I wasn't sure how that was working. One of the things we like to do when we have our podcast is to give people advice, because everybody's listening that's in the same community that we're in, and you must have gone through an awful lot of stuff. Is there any major thing that you learned? If you were to give advice to somebody that's going to take your role in the next tournament, what's the biggest thing that you took away from this?
Be flexible. Honestly,
Great.
Oh, good.
Be
Good
flexible,
advice.
like,
yeah. And don't let it rattle you too
No,
much.
yeah.
Like, you have to be able to shuck and jive here.
right. And that definitely took a lot for me to understand. It was a lot of Josh pulling me in and, it's not the end of the world. We're going to figure it out. Nothing
Oh, good.
drastic is going to
Good.
happen. Josh really, as much as I've been there for him, he's also been right back there for me.
Yeah.
So, but definitely being flexible, like this food truck incident, you dwell on it for a minute and then you
Yeah.
just turn around and
Move on.
you move on, you fix it. So,
Well, he can't piss you off because you live next door to him. You could go after him at home in the middle of
well,
the night,
you know,
I mean,
you'll be
it's-
knocking on that door,
Right,
you know?
Exactly.
It's the best.
So how long have you been here now? I know you just said that, but it's
It'll be 3 years
Three,
in
so you've been-
October.
all right.
Yeah.
so so you've been entrenched in the country club world now.
Yeah.
Are you comfortable? Are you?
I
Yeah?
have gotten pretty comfortable.
Yeah.
I've met
You miss
so
healthcare?
many amazing people here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I keep thinking about returning to healthcare,
Yeah.
and it's definitely
won't
been
let
on
you,
my
though.
mind lately. However, I'm really just trying to get through this week before I
don't
make
even say
any,
anything.
life decisions.
Are you playing golf? You get out at all?
I've played twice, and
In the
you
3
don't
years?
want me on your team.
But you
no.
got the opportunity. It'd be great.
I
if you
do,
were.
yeah.
Does your husband
And
play?
No.
Okay.
All of his brothers play.
Oh boy.
So his
so you're
family
getting hit up
is
for golf from
oh
them?
yeah,
Oh,
his
boy.
family is big into golf, but
Okay.
Nate has taken me out a couple times and
Yeah.
has been generous enough to give me a couple tips, but
Yeah.
I'm no good.
And all the guys on the crew they treat you with the
Oh
respect
my
that you
gosh,
deserve.
they're amazing.
Good.
Every single one of
I
them.
think we've interviewed almost everybody, or will by the end of our tenure here. But it's just a great group of guys.
Yeah, they're amazing.
Yeah, and it's been
And
good.
they, every single one of them. So we were neighbors, Josh and I.
You moved.
We
You
did.
moved.
We
Okay.
moved 2 weeks ago.
Oh yeah.
Guess
You
what?
moved
2
2
weeks before the women's
before the
open. I was like,
tournament.
yep, we're going to move. We're going to buy a
Oh
house.
my
Smart move.
gosh.
Yeah, right?
Some
And-
advice not to give.
Exactly.
To take. They'll move 2 weeks before. a
But you
tournament.
know what? Every single one of the assistants and Rich showed up
No way.
to help you
the
move.
Saturday 2 weeks before the women's open to help me move.
Oh, that's fantastic. That's
like
a story in
just
its own.
yeah,
That's fantastic.
It's really, really
we,
awesome.
yeah, we're a really close knit group.
Did they
You
do anything, or were
are-
they just sitting around drinking beer?
I mean, you have to provide the beer for them to do anything.
Absolutely.
I've
Come
seen
on
these
now.
guys. I just wasn't sure if they were actually
Absolutely.
helping or just hanging out.
Well, my text basically said pizza and beer provided. So
Oh, that's
Hey.
nice. Oh,
I'll be there.
that'll get a crew any
Right,
day.
Hey,
exactly.
you want to move again?
Hey,
Yeah.
in 10 years, I'll let you
I'm
know.
hungry this weekend. I
Yeah.
could use. Yeah.
Well, I can't thank you enough for sitting down with us, Amanda.
Well, thanks for having me.
So sitting down with us, but especially for everything
Yeah.
here
It's-
this
Well,
we've
week.
been
thank
great.
you for your
You've been
sponsorship.
wonderful.
Oh,
Yeah,
you're
absolutely.
welcome.
That's helped us
Yeah.
get to where we are.
You're welcome.
Well, like we said, we've known Josh for a long time. We've seen him, really come through his career. So it's been great, and I'm thrilled that you guys were able to pull this off as
Yeah.
well as you have. It's been really wonderful. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Perfect.
All right, well, EarthWorks podcast listeners, right now I'm sitting down with Tammy Sherrick and Olivia Harrison. Tammy is the horticulturalist here at Lancaster Country Club, and Olivia is the assistant horticulturalist. And Olivia, are you new to the crew?
I am. I just started in March.
Oh, wonderful. And Tammy, how long have you been here?
I've been here 5 years,
Okay, perfect. And that was right around the time that Josh got here,
Yep.
is that right?
right after Josh.
Okay,
He hired me.
wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful. And so I had the pleasure of being on your crew this morning, Tammy.
Yeah.
Yes, I volunteered with Tammy and Olivia, and we were like the aesthetic team up at the clubhouse.
That's a very nice way to put it.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, meaning we had blowers. Yeah.
Yes.
We were blowing dust around.
Yes, we were.
But it's all about the detail. When
It is
you're
about the
hosting.
detail.
Okay, good, good. And that's what we accomplished this morning. I also was very appreciative to be at that location this morning because we did most of our work probably in the 4 o'clock hour, would you
Yes.
say?
Yes, we
Yes.
did.
Yeah, and so by 5:15 or so, we were pretty much wrapped up with our assignment, and I got to walk back behind the clubhouse and hang out on 18 Green while the sun was coming up, and it was, I mean, the colors were extraordinary, and then also at that same time, the USGA started to come in and they started taking stimp readings, and they were checking out pin locations and things like that. So it was cool, and
It
then
is cool.
yeah, it was way cool. It was way cool. So, but what I want to talk about, beyond how great it's been here for the Open, is some of the preparation that you've done, getting ready for this, because I know it's a multi-year thing. What were some of what were some things that you were tracking as we were approaching, May here, 2024?
Well, throughout last year, I knew like certain flower beds that needed a little extra attention that weren't doing as well. So we added products and, tried to get them up to par, up to what we expect here at the club.
That's right. Now, you had come to me over the winter talking about some particular, some soil that had been pushed around in construction, and
Right.
it was particularly silty.
Yes.
So how was that soil behaving, and what did you see that you knew it needed remediation?
When I first when I originally started here, that bed had a tree in the middle and like a boxwood hedge the whole way around. And the boxwood started dying off. And it's like impossible to try to plant one to match up a hedge.
Yes.
You can't just do that. So we decided just to take it out and make it a flower bed because they really wanted to add more color throughout the club. So that's what, basically since I've been here 5 years, we've really worked on adding more color and making things more eye appealing as you come in. So what the problems I was having with that soil, the water would just run off.
Okay.
I didn't, it wouldn't go down into the ground at all. It just ran off.
Because so is that you were seeing that during your like daily irrigation? Is that something that you two both do, Olivia? Is that part of like the daily routine?
Yes. We water about every 2 days right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Depending on how much rain we get too.
So this spring, or rather last fall and this earlier, you were seeing that run off, and you and I talked about trying to kind of gain some porosity in that soil so it could draw it down in.
Correct. Yes.
I had suggested the Ecolite.
Right.
How did you apply that? How did that go?
I applied. It was about 1,000 square foot.
Did you have to work that?
I did. I rototilled it in along with the 333.
Oh, perfect.
So we worked that in, and then as we planted, like I have an auger, so I drill the holes, and Olivia usually fills them with the 333, and then we plant the flowers.
Oh, excellent. Now, you told me earlier when I got here in the week that you've noticed that soil accepting more water.
It is. It's not running off like it did.
Okay,
so,
good. Improvements.
Yeah,
and things don't happen rapidly.
They don't.
But stepwise, it gets better and better. I also was proud. You told a nice story earlier about, is it a magnolia back at the...
Southern magnolia.
Okay, cool.
When the construction happened here at the club in... it was over COVID, 20 and 21. They asked me if I would landscape everything. So I was a little leery, but I agreed to it. Being new to the place, I kind of figured I had to. So
right, and what they meant was like they wanted it to
like
be totally
I designed,
in-house.
and I told Josh, if I'm going to design this, I also want to plan it myself because I've seen how people come in and plant. I wanted to give it special care. So that's what we did. Use your products in the planting phases. And I have...
Particularly the Myco, it sounds like. The 333 you guys use a lot of.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So this magnolia tree is now... it has to have grown at least 5 feet or more.
And that was only 3 years ago.
It was only 3 years ago.
Awesome.
So it's beautiful, and it's about... there was a bloom earlier, was it last week?
Yeah, I actually have pictures of it.
Yeah.
And
then today there's like 3 blooms ready to open.
Wow.
And that was kind of... I'm like, oh, if this is blooming for when we have the open, that was kind of my goal.
Me and you said, come over here and look at this flower.
Oh, that's great. Oh, that's wonderful. Yeah, and is that like a pink flower, pink and white?
No, it's white.
Oh, it's all white.
It's white, but the fragrance is just, and it only lasts like a day.
You're right. We had a magnolia. My neighbors had a magnolia, I remember. And you're right. Like the fragrance is wonderful, but you've got about 2 days, and that's all you're gonna get.
And what's I gonna say? They're not usually grown in this area. It's kind of touch and go.
Tree, right? Yeah.
It's kind of touch and go, but with our area kind of warming up some. Plus, I have it in a protected area. I knew to do that as well.
That's
and
right.
that protects from winter winds.
You're up at the clubhouse there.
Yeah.
That's cool.
It's working out good.
Yeah, it's working out good. I also took notice of when I was back at the when I was staying on 18 this morning. The beautiful dogwood over it's over towards the driveway towards the clubhouse. The white dogwood. I mean, it's like. The tree looks totally white with flowers right now.
It is beautiful. Now it's a Kusa dogwood, which is like an Oriental type.
Okay.
So I'm more of a native person. I'm into the native plants here and everything.
Are you a master gardener?
I am a master gardener. Yeah.
Wow, that's wonderful.
So I really seeing when we come in so early, we see deer. You know, you just
Yeah.
see so much wildlife. It's so beautiful. So we kind of try to do our part to, you know, we have a pollinator garden.
Yes, that's wonderful.
yeah,
and you
it is.
also, I know, are very good at communicating to the membership. You do, is it a monthly newsletter?
It's every other month.
Okay, but
And-
it's outreach. It's
Yeah,
regular
Josh
outreach.
Josh asked me if I would be willing to do that, and I way out of my comfort zone. But
Okay.
I've kind of, my daughter helped me at first, and then I'm doing okay. I do it on my own now. Come
that's
up with a topic. Most of the time, it's things that the members ask.
Mm-hmm.
We're always asked questions
Yes.
about, you know, different gardening.
Have you contributed
Topics.
to this, Olivia?
Not
Not
yet.
yet.
Okay. Oh, it sounds like
She'll
you're
have
getting
her
in.
turn.
Yes,
Yeah.
she will.
Yeah, I may just let her write one.
There you
Yeah,
go.
that would be awesome.
All right, cool, cool. Yeah, okay, so good. You have a good relationship with the membership.
Oh,
and
yeah.
like, nice. Yeah, that's really wonderful.
It is.
And,
It
and
is.
like you're saying, you're getting ideas from them, and
Right.
and yeah, share.
You know, we see the members more than like anyone on our crew
You're
because we're up
right.
around the clubhouse
very good point.
all the time.
Very
So,
good point.
yeah.
Oh well, that's wonderful. It's been fun, and I'm going to be back with you tomorrow. I
Okay.
hope. Yeah, yeah. So.
Yeah, come
you're
play
back.
with us
Yeah.
tomorrow.
All right, all good. Okay, I can do that. And I really appreciate you both sitting down here to get on the podcast because we're gonna have a number of people from your crew.
Okay,
So this will be a fun one to
Awesome.
listen to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
All right. Well, thank
Thank
you,
you.
Olivia.
Thanks
thank
for
you,
having
Tammy.
us.
Oh,
Thank
you
you.
got it. All right.